So our question is asking, a real estate agent wants to find the area of a triangular lot. He takes measurements and finds the boundaries have lengths 137, 102, and 116 feet. Find the area of the lot. All right, so I'm going to start by drawing a picture. So we have our triangle. And let's see, our boundaries are 137, 102, and 116. So these are all feet. Okay. And we are supposed to find the area. So if we remember from our last section, when we were talking about area, so we normally know it as half times base times height, but we don't have a right triangle. So when we have that, we can use the formula half times side A times side B, and then the sine of angle C. Okay. And remember, this was the angle that was included between A and B. Okay, so we basically need to be given side, angle, side. So right now, we don't have enough information to find the area because we need an angle. So since we have all three sides, we can find the measure of an angle by using the law of cosine. So it doesn't matter which one we find. So I'm just going to pick one, and I'm going to choose to find this angle. So I'm just going to put a theta there. Okay. And then if I'm going to find this angle, that means when we use this formula, we're going to use these two sides because our angle is in the middle of them. Okay. So to start working on finding that angle, we're going to start with the side across from it, and we're using the law of cosine. So we will have 102 squared equals 137 squared plus 116 squared minus 2 times 137, 116, and then the cosine of our theta. Sorry, my work got a little squished together. So I'm just going to start by simplifying things. Okay, so again, on my calculator, I'll just be kind of typing in some of those calculations. So 102 squared, 10,404, 137 squared. And I'm just going to add that to this right away. So plus 116 squared. So 32225 minus, and then I'm going to multiply those three numbers together right away. So 31784 cosine of that theta that we're trying to find. Okay. Now again, our goal right now is we are trying to get this part alone. So the next thing I need to do is subtract this number over. And remember, to get that, I am combining these two things together to get this. And then we multiplied these three numbers to get this one. Okay. So next, I'm going to subtract this over. Okay, so that is giving me negative 21,821 equal to negative 31,784 cosine of theta. Okay. So now I'm going to divide. And then the only thing I'm going to change are the two negatives cancel each other out to become a positive. And I'm not even going to worry about simplifying that fraction because it's not necessary. So again, that number is just becoming positive. And then now my cosine is alone because those two things cancel each other out. And then since we are finding an angle, to get rid of this, we are taking the inverse cosine to both sides. So our theta is going to be equal to the cosine, so the inverse cosine of this big fraction. So that is what I'm going to type into my calculator to get that angle. And remember, this isn't the overall thing that we're trying to find. It's just an intermediate step. So when we get this, we need to round to 4 decimal places. All right, so our angle is going to be 46.6431. Okay. Now I'm not going to write that in here, but that's this angle. So now I have the information that I need to finish finding the area. Okay, so our area is going to be 1/2 times these two sides. So that's that A and B. So 137, 116. And then the sine of that theta angle, because that's what's in between. So it's going to be this number. So 46.6431. Okay, so now that we're finding what the question is asking for, we're only going to round to the 2 decimal places. So 1/2 times 137 times 116, and then sine 46.6431. Oh, 5,777.47. And then we're talking about area, so feet squared. It's going to be our final answer for this problem.